Hi, I'm Danny Bluestone, and today we're making a shakshuka. We're going to make it in a freestyle recipe. So I'm just going to take you through all the steps of making a shakshuka. So really, with making a good shakshuka, it's all about preparation. It's like everything in life or business. If you want it to be of high quality, you've got to prepare. So what I normally do is take the peppers and basically put them in the oven, give them a bit of a sort of, I guess, little smashing, and put them in the oven the night before. So you just put them in a tray, pretty flat. And you I'm just trying to film with one hand, but you get the idea. Basically, you can smash them. So I normally have some form of kind of like food hammer, whatever it's called. Just give it a nice little smash, whack it in like that, or you can use your hand if you're lazy. Still get the same results. And then one of the things you need to do is put some olive oil. This one has garlic in, so if you don't have olive oil with garlic, you can basically just add some garlic, some crushed garlic, and then literally you put it in the oven for probably about an hour and 15, depending on the temperature. There's some aubergines in there as well for something else, and that's it. Another pillar for the shakshuka making is tomatoes. So I learned from a very good family friend in Israel that if you put tomatoes in the oven and burn them, they then taste extra delicious in the shakshuka. And it really is. I've been doing this now for probably 2-3 years, and it really helps the shakshuka to become extra tasty. So all you need to do is just put literally tomatoes like this, and then just whack it in the oven. Probably give it about 45 minutes to an hour. Don't forget to set an alarm clock, because otherwise you might forget. So the next step is to prepare the frying pan and the garlic. As you can see, I've sliced the garlic very thin. It's good to use really large garlic cloves, and then you cut them very thin, almost like margarine, because then it sort of melts in the shakshuka and then in your mouth. Almost never made a shakshuka without onions before, so it's really good to put at least 2 onions in. Again, cut it really thinly and put it into the frying pan before you put the garlic in. Cutting the onion, relatively easy. Slice it really thinly. And I'd normally use 1 very large onion, or like in this instance here, two small ones. I definitely think that you need at least 1 onion, if not 2. So there's 2 ways really to make a shakshuka, more sort of freestyle and more blended. Today we're going to go with the freestyle version, where we don't blend or use purees or pastes. We will use some tinned tomatoes, which is good, but ultimately we're going to be putting in tomatoes, vegetables, and just sort of throwing it all into the frying pan. It's still delicious, but it's only one way of making it. So this video today will be about the first method of making a shakshuka. Really, we need to start with putting in some olive oil and rapeseed oil. There needs to be quite a bit of oil in there, so mainly the onions don't burn. So yeah, that's what we're doing here. Literally just putting oil in the frying pan. After chopping the onion and the garlic, always throw in the onion first with a lot of olive oil, simply because it takes the onion the longest to cook. And a good shakshuka has very soft onion. You need to be careful not to burn it too much. You can burn it a bit. So put a lot of oil in and try and keep it on a moderate temperature. On this particular cooker, it's an agar, so you're not really able to moderate the temperature that well. Parsley and coriander really help to add flavour. You don't need much, but it just adds a bit of pizzazz to the flavour. And next we're going to add some chilli, a little bit of red chilli as well. Cut some chilli, red chilli. It's going to, not too much, depends on how spicy you like things, but it's going to add a lot of flavour into it. Always good for a shakshuka, just some chopped tomatoes. Just really helps. So I think once you see that the onions are starting to get soft and look a bit caramelized, it's then a good time to put the chopped tomatoes in. It's always good to use a good brand. It just helps the shakshuka texture. The second part is to put in the chopped garlics and burnt tomatoes as well as herbs, and it just literally goes in like that. Well, that's not what I expected. It's stuck, but you get the idea. So you basically put the garlic and the burnt tomatoes into the shakshuka. And then what you can start to do is to just sort of give it a nice little mash so it forms part of the texture of the shakshuka. So there you go. And then soon we're going to put in the peppers. A little bit of chopped onion also adds a bit of flavour as well. So if you have some of that, throw it in. As I'm cooking this, I'm looking at the texture and thinking, you know, I want to see a bit more olive oil in. It really helps, just with the flavour. So yeah, just feel free to pour it in. The final part with the vegetables, we're just going to throw some of the peppers in. So obviously, as you can see, they're nice and soft. They're literally, you know, almost dissolving in my hand here. So I'm not going to put all of them in because I think I made too much, but yeah, I'll probably put about half of these in. And yeah, as you can see, it's gives it a really nice composition, doesn't it? And then what I tend to do is just sort of mash the pepper a bit, break it down a bit more. It sort of breaks really easily. Yeah, and then you just have to let it cook, just so it all blends together. Next will be some spices just to put on top of it. So the peppers have virtually melted now into the shakshuka here, as you can see. The composition is looking good. Now I'm just going to put some salt and pepper, just a bit, because once we put the eggs in, we're going to put more on. The eggs, here in England, I recommend this brand. If you go to you know, major shopping centres, it's the Clarence Court Burford Brown eggs. They're really yolky eggs, very delicious, fresh. Sort of the yolk is very orange, which is great, perfect for making the shakshuka. Ultimately, the shakshuka will only be as good as your eggs, so it's really good to invest in quality ones. For this sort of size frying pan, medium size, I'd probably recommend about 6 eggs. Normally it lasts for a couple of day or two, can feed like 2 or 3 people. Hence kind of why I prefer to make a larger shakshuka, because you can then store it and yeah, it just lasts longer. But yeah, you literally just throw the eggs in like this once things are looking good. And it's sort of been cooking for about probably 20 minutes. Yes, it's been about 20 minutes or so now. Yeah, normally I do this with 2 hands, but yeah, works as well. As you make the shakshuka, you just want to slightly kind of nudge things around so it kind of cooks a bit faster. The white part of the egg, that is. Also, what you can do, if you're in a rush sometimes you can just put in a lid like that, and it does actually cook faster. I prefer to do it without, but for the purpose of this video, we'll just do it for 2 minutes. So the lid comes off now. You have a bit more. I don't want to leave it on too much, but it does help to cook the shakshuka faster. Looking at it now, there's quite a lot of vegetables. I'm going to throw in one more egg, which is going to go over here just to, yeah, obviously it's going to last a couple of days. So letting the shakshuka cook for a long time is really, really important. This way you get an incredible taste, because everything is mixing nicely together, all the vegetables and, you know, peppers, the eggs are cooking very slowly and getting all the flavour. So you can put in obviously pepper, just to sort of help, and a bit of salt. But yeah, I mean, it's been about 35-40 minutes now, almost ready. Probably needs another 7-8 minutes, and then we'll be done. Yeah, it's really important to mention that with a shakshuka, you've got to cook it slowly. If you're in a hurry, it's probably not the best food. It's an experience. Every time you make it, it comes out different to the time before. So yeah, it's just one of those things that you need to take your time and relax. So it's been over 45 minutes now or so. You can see that it's starting to look ready here. The eggs are starting to harden a bit. That's how you know that you know, it's in a pretty good shape. You can sort of slightly intervene. I wouldn't recommend sort of too much, but just to yeah, make sure that things aren't sort of burning, and if the egg is a bit soft or liquidy, you can slightly manipulate, not too much. But yeah, I think this one is pretty much done. As I said, every one is different to the other. Here, I haven't really blended the vegetables to make it more liquidy, but that's fine. It's absolutely authentic. So yeah, that's what it looks like in the frying pan. Final shakshuka looks like. Always let it cool down for about 5 to 10 minutes. Just gets the flavors going. So hope you enjoyed the video. So no video would be complete without a test at the end. I have to say it's absolutely delicious. Really, really good.